are the young ones drifting away, our souls somewhere on the higher line. We are the cold hearts lighting our best. We go like it is the last time. We're burning it down, we live to break, then start over and over again. Into the dark when life's too late, we'll start over and over again.
When you wake up, you're Miss.
You're scratching, it's kind of reaching. You rub it, the genie comes out.
Oh!
So those who want something from the genie, please come to my room tonight.
Today, I broke it into 3 sections, which is know your content, know your audience, and know yourself in terms of public speaking. Now let's warm up our cows and do some rolling. The tongue, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. Now, although it's easier said than done, just be yourself. It's actually not that easy because a lot of preparation needs to be done.
My friends call me lobster. I like to roll on the floor.
Alright.
Okay.
Comedy is actually a very powerful force. Humor and laughter can be a very powerful weapon. Today was a really fun session. I got to meet a lot of talented ladies today. What I wanted to impart on the contestants was that women can be funny too.
Everyone front. Why can't pretty girls front too?
And fun, but not in the least lah. Alone.
Hey girl, where are you born? Malaysia lah. Which part? Which part? What which part? Oh, my body born in Malaysia. Get out.
Quote goes like this: because in the end, you won't remember working in the office. You won't remember mowing that lawn. So climb that goddamn mountain.
A quote from Marianne Williamson, and it's called Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
The quote that really speaks to me would be feel the fear and do it anyway. Yes.
My quote is there's no next time, it's now or never.
If there is a quote that has truly impacted my life, it would have to be the Sanskrit saying Tatvam Asi, meaning that art thou. You are that.
Wow. The quote that I stand by is from a Bible verse, which is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me.
My CSR that I'm passionate about would be for dogs, because I really love dogs.
What do you mean CSR dogs?
As in awareness
for
adoption of dogs. Yeah, to not let the public know to not abandon their dogs, because people usually adopt puppies and then when they reach a certain age, they will abandon them, which is that's so cruel, that's so mean. Like, how can you do that? Imagine if someone did that to you.
How are you going to make me remember Malaysia if you only have 2 minutes to tell me about it?
For me, if I would have to promote Malaysia, it means I promote to people that are not Malaysians. One thing that is really amazing that I feel about Malaysians is a different culture that we have. We have Chinese New Year, we have Christmas, we have Deepavali, and no matter what races we are, we celebrate it as one, and that's the beauty of it.
First of all, my outfit, I would try to get some traditional outfit so that because I think eyesight is quite important, the inspiration. And also, second thing, I would try to mix in some Malay words to put some words. Unfortunately, now I cannot remember anything, but I would like to do that. So sorry, I can't remember anything right now.
That's because she spoke Japanese.
So I will prepare for that. I will study for that, and so that people will remember you as picture as a Malaysian girl that is representing.
Women are still disadvantaged when it comes to almost all areas in life. How will you as Miss Malaysia help address that?
Maybe I will from my families and friends because I don't have the power to influence the audience or the public yet, but I will start from the people surrounding me.
I remember there was this incident between Jennifer Lawrence where she accidentally found out that her producer was paying her way lesser than the male actor, and she spoke about it. And I think that's really important for us to speak speak out and to get what we are supposed to get, because we are putting out the same effort as men, but we should get paid and being recognized just like men.
When you hear of the current state of our world today, with all these terror attacks around the world, the global economic situation, even in our own country, has a lot of its own problems. Do you still think in a world filled with strife, the title Miss Malaysia is still important? And if so, how will you, in your capacity as Miss Malaysia, help solve the world's problems?
Okay. As a Miss Malaysia, what I think is you have to be and influence people. You have to influence people and giving some good influence and good comments and good image to others. So being a Miss Malaysia, you have to be like a positive comment. I'm not positive thinking. Yeah. And you have to be more confident, like with your own self and all that, carrying yourself very well to speak in front of people. It's really solved the problem of the world.
I super worry about throughout a week when we get to know today is the public speaking challenge.
How can we actually bring back compassion to, creating awareness around AIDS?
I think we have to first set an example, because we learn from examples. We learn from what we see. So when we set an example and show people what it really is, and also erase all the stigma about it. So henceforth, I think we have to first be the example, and then only other people will soon follow.
Having great communication skills is the first step to becoming an advocate for HIV and AIDS, or for any cause for that matter. What's your favorite thing about yourself?
It's my positivity. I always, can I elaborate?
Go.
My positivity. I feel that every time I'm in a situation, if I can feel myself positive enough, I feel that aura itself will spread and the whole room turns positive.
I would actually say physically it would be my legs. I think that legs are a very great advantage to me, because people like long legs. Like when you look at models, when they strut the runway and you see their legs moving, crisscrossing very sexily, and it gives them the kind of confidence.
What would you do if you are the Prime Minister of Malaysia?
That's a very interesting question. Okay, what would I do that everyone should get a dental treatment? Many schools have dental practitioners coming, nurses actually coming. But I realized that my friends that are in areas which are less recognized do not have that luxury. Like the dentist and the nurses, they don't go there. And I think that's a bit unfair, because just because you can't afford it, it doesn't mean you don't get treatment.
If I were Prime Minister, the people would definitely come first. And it is not about putting up a show in front of everyone where in actual fact, people are actually suffering. I think I'm angry of one announcement of the toll hike. I don't understand why they are still hiking up that price, and it's not helping us in whole. GST I can still understand,
right?
But toll hikes is something that I don't get it, and I'm very angry.
I feel that the health system in Malaysia is not so much as good as I hope to be, because I have done medical work in overseas, and I tend to compare, not because I want to put Malaysia down, but I want to see how much we can move forward, and there is a lot of room for improvement. Through this, I will definitely make medicine more accessible to people, more affordable to people. That's what I'll do if I was the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
All right.
What do you imagine your life would be like as Miss Malaysia?
Honestly, at this point, if I imagine myself as Miss Universe Malaysia, I would have a lot of transformation has to be done within myself. Yes, and of course, you have to be intellectual. You have to be quick, think how you want to answer all these things. So if I am the Miss Universe Malaysia, I will have a lot of things to be prepared.
Nowadays, as you know, there are a lot of refugees running away from their home countries and seeking refuge in other countries. How would you handle the refugee situation that is happening in the world today?
I would say I'll handle it in a way that have a strict rules that very clear, don't have any conflict between that. But also I would really welcome them to come in. Yeah.
Some of the girls proved my expectations correct. Some of them had language skills which I think held them back. If you win Miss Universe Malaysia, do you think you could still be Miss Malaysia and continue studying?
Honestly, no, because I want to devote my whole life to doing what I believe is best, and I want my full attention to being on Miss Universe Malaysia. Henceforth, when I do win, I will take a gap year from my college after I graduate.
If you yourself have a dream about how the world should be, I mean, you know, we're talking about ending AIDS by a certain amount of time, so that would be my dream. So how do we work towards achieving that dream, a dream of a world without?
To me, that I really want to be someone inspiring, and to first do that, I have to be a role model, and I have to be someone strong and influential.
What do you feel about the issue of LGBT? Do you think that lesbians, gays, bisexuals and transgenders deserve equal rights?
Yes, I do believe we need to have rights for them. Everybody should be entitled to their own rights. Human rights is a basic necessity.
For me, personally, I respect their decision. But then again, I don't really fully support because for me, anything goes against the nature law. Like if the God says that a man and woman should be together, then they should be.
Personally, I think that they should, because
Right.
from what I know, partially it's because of genetics.
If you could bring one thing to Miss Universe to represent Malaysia, just one thing, what would it be?
I would bring Bunga Raya because Bunga Raya is the flowers of Malaysia. So
National
it's really, national flowers. It's really represent Malaysia, and people get to know what is Malaysia about. Yeah, because I think that Bunga Raya is unique because we can't find this in every country. Just only Malaysia.
Little chongkak pieces with marbles inside, because growing up, my mother, she told me her stories about chongkak and how it was very significant in her days. They didn't have cars, they didn't have board games, and everyone used to play with chongkak after exams. And I grew up with chongkak as well. Yeah.
What will you do if you lose?
To be honest, getting this far has already changed a lot for me. I've met a lot of people and made a lot of new network, a lot of new connections. And I can already see the opportunities coming my way. Even if I don't make it as Miss Universe Malaysia, I know that my life has already changed.
Right. That's a great answer.
This was the Public Speaking Challenge, and we're very pleased to announce unanimously that the winner is Divya Diana. She's totally in command, I thought, of all her information, her ideas, and she got them across perfectly.
I won. I'm so excited because this is my third challenge of the week that I'm winning. I've been wanting to do this since I was 5 years old, so you can imagine how much I've thought, how much I've practiced, and I'm so glad that it came off good and the judges really liked the way I presented myself.
The other bottom two finalist is Hazen Ng. Being nervous is something that, you know, understandably, starting from the camera and starting from the judges, but it's something that we could work upon.
So I'm in bottom two again for this challenge. The lack of sleep throughout the week has really affected me, especially for this challenge because you need to think of answers for the questions, and I did not do it well, obviously.
One of the bottom two finalists for this public speaking challenge is Arisa. The only real problem is that she lacked the command of English.
I never get bottom two throughout week of any challenge. I agree that I'm a bit struggling with communication skill and also in my English and my language. I make sure that I will do this better.
One major feedback that I have to share is that some of the finalists lack a good grasp of the English language, and that will pose a major concern because when we send a Malaysian representative on the global stage, if they communicate in English which is not on par, what will happen is that all their messages will crumble due to the lack of English proficiency.
Now you're watching the Next Miss Universe Malaysia 2016 and I'm Divya Diana.